What we do here is go back.
Let's talk with Tina. Hey, come sit with me for a second. I want to run something by you. It's this question I can't stop asking myself lately. I don't expect you to answer it right away. Just let it sit there while we talk. Here's the scenario. You wake up tomorrow and somehow all of it's handled. The bills are paid, the stress about am I doing enough? Gone. That anxious hum in the back of your head about the future? Quiet for once. So, what do you do with that day? Do you still show up at work? Book the flight you've been planning for years? Finally write the thing you keep telling people you're going to write? Start that business? Call the people you love more often? Pick up a paintbrush, a language, whatever's been calling you? Or maybe you just sit outside, coffee in hand, no agenda, just the relief of having nowhere to be. I think almost everyone plays this game in their head at some point. And I don't think it's really about the money. I think it's a sneaky way of getting at a bigger question. What would actually make me feel alive? Welcome back to Let's Talk with Tina. If you are new here, hi. I'm really glad you found this. And if you were with me from episode 1, thank you. It means a lot to me that you'd spend part of your day listening to me think out loud. I keep coming back to that opening question, and here's the funny part. My answers changed. A few years ago, you wouldn't have even had to finish the sentence because I would have said, I would travel. I would have said immediately, and I mean really, living somewhere else for a while, not just visiting. Meeting people whose whole life looked nothing like mine, standing in places I would only ever seen in photographs. And I really believed the answer to everything was out there somewhere, waiting for me to stumble into it. And weirdly, I did find something, just maybe not what I expected. Travel gave me so much perspective more than anything else. You step away from your routine long enough and the things you thought were so important just start to shrink. You realize there's more than one way to build a life, more than one version of success, more than one shape happiness can take.
Let's talk, let's chat, where the blues meets the spark. El Tina Minerale, she's lighting up the dark. So tune in, lean in, the magic's on soon. Let's talk with Tina.
I met people with almost nothing who seemed pretty much at peace. And I met people with more money than they could ever spend who still looked like they were searching for something. That messed with me a little, honestly, and made me wonder what we are all actually chasing. For a while, I thought I was collecting places, but now I think I was collecting versions of myself. Every random conversation, every unfamiliar street, every sunrise I watched somewhere I would never been, they were slowly teaching me something about who I am, not just where I would be. I started asking a different question without ever noticing. Less, where do I go next? And more, who am I becoming? That's really what pulled me toward spirituality, if I'm being honest. And when I say that word, I promise I don't have it all figured it out. I don't follow one specific path, and I don't think everyone should believe what I believe. It just meant I finally slowed down enough to hear myself again. Noticed what actually gave me peace, started living on purpose instead of running on autopilot. And somewhere in all of that, my whole relationship with money shifted too. Growing up, money was the finish line for me. Earn enough, save enough, hit some numbers, and then I would relax. Then I would feel secure, maybe even happy. But at some point, I realized I would hand it money a job it was never built for. Being who I am, giving my purpose, handing my peace. What it's actually good at is way simpler than that. Buying the time, opening a door here and there, letting me take care of the people I love and go see more of this world while I still can. Money went from being the finish line to just a tool I reach for.
Oh, let's talk. Tina's got the spark. Words light the room like a fire in the dark. Tina's groove gonna move your heart. Let's talk, let's shine. Tina mineral each time.
That made me appreciate it more. There was a stretch where I actually felt guilty for wanting financial freedom, like caring about that stuff meant I would lost the plot spiritually. For a long time, I really believed you had to pick a side. I don't believe that anymore. I can care about my inner life and still want to build something successful. I can love simplicity and still enjoy nice things, or I can be grateful for what I have and still be working toward more. Turns out, those things feed each other more than they fight each other.
Let's talk.
Honestly, I even surprised myself with this next part. I actually like working. Nobody's forcing me to. I just genuinely love making things. There's something so satisfying about watching an idea slowly turn into something real. Whether it's this podcast, a business, something I'm writing, a song, or even planning my next trip. I love pouring myself into something and seeing it grow. And getting paid for it doesn't take away from that. If anything, it reminds me that what I'm creating actually brings value to someone else.
Let's talk, let's shine.
Somewhere in all of this reflecting, I started noticing a pattern I can't unseen. The way we relate to money usually says a lot about the way we relate to ourselves. If a part of me feels like I always have to prove myself, no amount of money is ever going to make that feeling disappear. The goalpost just keeps moving. But when I started trusting myself more, everything else started to shift too. I said yes to more opportunities. I let myself receive instead of feeling like I had to earn every good thing. I started believing that a beautiful life wasn't reserved for other people, but that I was allowed to have one too. Because abundance was never really about what is sitting in your bank account. To me, it's so much quieter than that. It's waking up excited for the day ahead. It's a conversation that leaves you thinking long after it's over. Feeling at home in your own body, laughing so hard you can't catch your breath, taking a trip that changes the way you see the world, sharing a meal with people you love, doing work that feels meaningful. That's what abundance feels like to me. And sure, sometimes abundance is just letting yourself enjoy the nice things you worked for, without the guilt trip afterward.
Let's talk with Tina.
Here's maybe the biggest thing I've learned these past few years. Freedom was never about needing nothing. I used to think that's exactly what it meant. Now I think real freedom is enjoying what life gives you without white-knuckling it, letting success feel good without needing it to define you, appreciating beautiful things without needing them to prove anything about your worth, earning money without handing it the power to decide how you feel about yourself that day. That's a much lighter kind of freedom. I like it a lot better. When I look back on the trips that changed me, I get why they mattered so much now. It was never really about the passport stamps. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did love the stamps.
Let's talk with Tina.
But every place I went stretched how I saw the world a little, and every person I met reminded me there is no single blueprint for a good life. Travel didn't hand me answers, but it taught me how to ask better questions, which honestly might be the more useful skill anyway. So if you asked me today what I would do if money wasn't a factor, I would probably still say I would travel, still create, spend time with the people I love, wake up excited to build things, focus on my healing journey. But now I get why. Chasing all of that was really just chasing a feeling. Free, curious, connected, present, and alive. So maybe the real question isn't what would you do if money didn't matter, but maybe it's this. If money stopped being something you are scared of and started being something that just helps, what would you actually build?
Let's talk, let's shine. Altina mineral each time.
Really? Sit with that. Tomorrow, not someday, because I promise you, there are pieces of that life you could start building right now, before anything feels ready. Make the call you've been avoiding. Open the Notes app and actually start the thing. Take the walk instead of the scroll, book the class, have the hard conversation, say yes, say no, whatever it is. Small choices add up to a completely different life before you even notice it's happening. That's usually where it all starts.
Let's talk, let's shine. Altina mineral each time.
Thank you for sitting with me through this one. If something in here struck a nerve, I'd really love to hear about it. What would you actually do tomorrow if money weren't the one calling the shots? Until next time, keep asking yourself the questions that don't come with easy answers. Every so often, one of them changes everything. This is Tina, and you're listening. Let's talk with Tina.
Let's talk with Tina, where hearts can be. So grab a chair, stay a while with Tina's voice. You'll leave with a smile.